Sure.
First question to you. We want to know the reason why you opted for international taxation. Because there are four or five, there are different
Yeah.
options
So
under
couple of
elective.
reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Please start.
Yeah. So four or five reasons practically. First one being our articleship was in taxation department, so I was in the taxation role. I had a liking towards taxation. My domain experience in taxation. So that's why natural inclination in taxation. Also, like paper 6 gives you an edge for paper 7 direct tax. So since 30% of the amount is same, like 30 marks gets covered if you prepare for paper 6. So just 70 marks has to be only look after for the 1.5 day which you have for DT. And DT is the, you can say, the vast subject ever in the CA curriculum considering all the 8 subjects overall. So it gives an additional edge for preparation towards the paper 7 also. And considering the other options like capital markets or GFRS or economic law, I felt international taxation is something which suits my liking, interest, as well as it's helpful for the paper 7. So my strategy was also according to it. So I went for it. And it turned out to be a good option. So that's the story.
So, so great. So in short, you mentioned that since you were having experience in taxation domain, that was one of the reason that you opted for international taxation.
Yeah.
You were having liking for taxation field itself because
Yeah,
you were having
primary reason. Yeah.
experience, right? And it also supplements preparation for paper number 7.
Yeah.
Just one more thing which I want to ask. There might be
Yeah.
certain friends of yours, your colleagues, who were having international taxation field while during articleship, but they might not have opted for this subject. So
Yeah.
have they faced any issue afterwards, or how
Yeah.
it went for them post clearing CA?
Yeah. Yeah. So talking about the elective subject, there is one subject known as risk management, which
Right,
is considered to be the easiest of all the other options.
right,
Like people
exactly.
usually manage to get 80 plus scores without studying much. So because there is a limitation of scope in it, the syllabus cannot go outside the book, and the books is pretty 200 pages or something of that sort. And there's
Okay,
nothing out of it. Since in international taxation we can have case laws, we can have notifications, circulars, any other thing. But in risk management, there is nothing out of the book. So getting 80 plus scores are also many very easy task. Like if you want to score 60 here, the same preparation will help you score 80 there. So
okay.
many people took risk management as an optional subject rather than international taxation, but it depends basically on the personal choices. I feel if somebody wants to, somebody pursue wish, envisages their career in the field of taxation department, then I think personally they should go for international taxation because they'll be able to know better in the subject because 30 marks in DT will not provide you that much knowledge which international taxation as a subject will. And also it helps in checking the interviews. Like if there are two candidates, one with risk management and one with international taxation, so obviously the interviewer will consider international taxation guy for a taxation field over the risk management guy,
True.
considering all other things are constant. So I think international taxation should be preference for someone who perceives their future in the taxation field.
Correct. Right. If they
But
want to
yes,
pursue,
considering
if
marks,
they only wants to
considering
clear, right.
safety,
If they
if
only wants to clear CA, then risk management.
yeah,
If they want to prepare for international taxation field post
yeah,
CA, this is the subject that one should opt for, because otherwise they'll
yeah,
definitely face a question that you want to pursue your career
exactly,
here, but you only wanted to clear CA. That should not be the aim. That CA is a degree, but you have, if you want to opt
exactly.
for
So that
something
will always be
practical,
a question.
right? Exactly. So we'll move to our main
Yeah,
topic
that will
regarding
always be a question.
preparation. So first we'll be talking regarding first reading. While starting this subject, how you did the preparation for
Yeah,
first reading itself? What was your plans? What were your strategies?
yeah, yeah. So first thing first, like I never considered international taxation as a separate subject. For me, it was an extended subject of paper 7. So I used to always start with paper 7 first. I used to complete paper 7 in time of international taxation. Like all topics other than international taxation, I used to cover them first. And for international taxation, I used to switch over to paper 6. So the material which I used to refer for paper 6 was for the paper 6 itself, but I used to cover both paper 7 and paper 6 inside, because paper 6 is a vast subject compared to paper 7, international taxation part, and all the topics are covered. Like there are some additional topics in paper 6 which you can skip for paper 7, but if you
Chinmay,
are
just one
taking
second.
paper 6 as an optional subject, then it's
Chinmay,
better
just one
to
second.
start over from paper 6 itself.
Hello. Prachi has
Yeah.
mentioned there are certain issue in audio. Are others also facing the same thing? I'm able to hear Chinmay properly. There is no issue from my side. Anyone else also facing the similar issue? There is no such comment, so you can continue. Just sorry for disruption. You were saying that you never considered both the subject separate. You prepared for them at the same time itself.
Yeah.
Yes, please continue.
Yeah, so for me it was more of an extended paper 7. The only thing was 30% of paper 7, which is international taxation. I used to refer books of paper 6 for that particular matter.
Okay.
That's it. Because it helps also, because if you look at the questions in paper 6, they are not purely international taxation. There are certain questions which require to compute your income also, income of the assessee, for example. So unless you are well versed with the topics like capital gains and business profession and deductions, you won't be able to solve that question completely. So it's better to start with paper 6 or 7 first. Go through all your business professions sections, your set of sections, your capital gain section, your salary sections, your deduction sections, and then for the international taxation part, you can refer paper 6. So in a way, you will be able to cover both the subjects in less time. So that's what I used to do. So I used to always start with paper 7 first, and then for international taxation purpose, I used to switch over to paper 6 material. So that's how I did. And first reading itself, one point which I would like to suggest to everybody is ensure that you are fixing your study material. You know that you are going to refer this study material for the rest of your CA course. Like don't switch over. There are many materials available in the market, like for private authors also, and ICI itself provides a study material. I preferred ICI study material along with some summary notes. So according, like whichever notes are preferable to you, but ensure that you abide by them till the time of the exams. Like don't switch over different notes, because it's better to read same notes 3 times rather than reading 3 different notes in one time. Your preparation will be better if you read the same material twice, thrice, and many more times. So in the first reading itself, make sure that you are done finalizing the study material, like which topics are you going to do for, from which material itself. Basically, I always opted for ICI provided module because it was quite comprehensive enough, and the sections were also in the serial order, like one after the other. And it covered everything, including those notifications, circulars, etc. They were also provided in bold highlights somewhere in the study material itself. So I preferred that. Any material can be preferred, but then ensure that you abide by it throughout the CA course thereafter. And also try making a habit of highlighting certain important points and putting the summaries of the section in a sticky note at the start of the section itself, because there are many sections which provide you with certain exceptions, explanations, provisions, and provided, etc. So those things can be summarized in short and put it on a sticky note at the start of the section itself, so that while revising it will be easier for you to just go through all the express rather than going through the whole section again as per the books, because it's not always possible for us to go through the whole module while revising. So these notes, sticky notes, and summaries helps a lot at the time of revisions. So it's better if you start preparing those things from the first reading itself. It will help in the last time, like you won't have to then devote your time for making the summaries and notes, etc. So while reading it for the first time itself, try making certain notes and highlight certain important points. So that's good, like that's what I did.
So there is one question. So the question is regarding whether you did the self study or you took certain coaching or something.
No. Yeah, I did take coaching for Bhavar Borana sir regarding DT and international text both. But the material for international text which I preferred reading was module, ICI provided module.
CSL. Great. So just friend, just one thing to make. all these preparation strategies depends from person to person.
Yeah.
It can vary, and you have to see your own style,
Yeah.
own
Of course, of
performance, and
course.
accordingly stick to it. Just one second, it appears that mic is on. Okay.
पहले क्या था, अगर सपोज फीवर चलेगा भी, ठीक है, तो फीवर क्या करेगा, सबसे पहले तो एंट्री की फाइल्स कॉमन फोल्डर से उठा लेगा, कॉपी करके वो डंप पे डालेगा।
Is this voice disturbance from your backside? क्या? There's a lot of voice coming up.
हाँ, तो पहले वो कॉपी करेगा सारी फाइल, वो फाइनल होगी, उसके बाद ना जब तक प्रोसेस चलेगा, ऐसा करोगे ना तो फाइल वही की वही रहेगी, कितना भी चेंज करो, नेक्स्ट कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता।
Is it good now? Like I cannot hear any sound around me as such.
Okay, great. So we'll start. If anyone's mic is not mute, just mute, please. I'm not able to see anyone whose mic is unmute. Ayush. It appears to be fine now. So, just when I was just making one point here, that all the preparation strategy, revision strategy depends from person to person. However, you can take insights from here. Insights which Chinmay provided. He said ki complete DT before starting international taxation. He said that decide on what books you are going to refer henceforth. At the time of first reading itself, it is very important that you stick to one book, books which you select at the time of starting your first reading itself. Next point which he made was make a list of important concepts with page number references and write down the summary of the section, because all these things will help you during the revision. Use sticky notes as much as you can, use highlighter, point out in your books, and do your first reading in this manner. There's a question, after CA inter result, when you started preparing for taxation, as I can understand the question that it is because the sections start getting amended again and again with every finance act currently, so it is getting amended by each and every ordinances. So when you started preparation?
So for DT specifically, I started my preparation somewhere in the month of October 2000. Yeah. So taxation itself, I started preparation in the somewhere in the month of October 2018.
Okay.
So after the Finance Act got published and all the relevant notification etc. were finalized, so Bhavar Borana had his face-to-face lecture somewhere in the month of October, November, and December. So 3 months he took, 2 months for DT and 1 month for the international taxation. So the classes which I took was from October 2018, and I might have started preparation for the same somewhere in March or April.
Yes,
but I took the classes. Like the first studies which I did was from October 2018, 1 year before the attempt.
Exactly that. This point I also want to make. Don't wait for last moment. Till the time we get all the amendments, we will prepare accordingly. Don't wait for such time. Prepare for these subjects. If you can prepare timely, what you can do amendments afterwards as well. Why you can do amendments afterwards? Because amendments are given certain kind of weightage. They tend to ask, ICA tend to ask certain questions from amendments directly. So if you'll do amendments separately, that will definitely help you in your exam. Best way to cover amendments. Chinmay, you since you started in November. Right.
There are many subjects which have amendments in it. Like if we just take international taxation or DTS, then IDT has more amendments compared to DT. Right. Because DT still has amendment from the Finance Act, whereas GST can have amendments from any kind of notification of circular itself. So if we keep all the subjects till the last time waiting that the complete study material along with amendments is ready, then I think we'll lose out most of our time.
Right, exactly.
So it's better to start preparing subjects like law and DT pre-hand. You can wait for IDT because IDT has a lot of amendments, and the amendments are like they change the sections completely. Like the limits are changed suddenly. So it's better to wait for IDT, but then DT and law and other audit subjects can be started earlier. Like there are not much amendments, and the amendments are also covered in RTP itself, and RTP is released 3 months approx before the attempt itself. So those things can be covered from the RTP.
Shraddha, he has already mentioned for international taxation.
There's a question of best
right.
reference book.
You have already told that you referred
Yeah,
to
so there's no
ICS
best book as such. Like there are many authors. Yeah, there are many authors, and it depends on the person to person, like how comfortable you are with the professor.
Right,
So
exactly.
it depends upon it.
So
as far as I am concerned, I have just referred Bhavar Borana and ICAI material, so I cannot comment about other material, the best material. Bhavar
right.
Borana material is good and ICAI is also good. Now, which is the best, even I can't comment on it since I have not went through all these materials.
Right. So we'll move to our next question. You told about first reading. Now our next question is regarding how many times you revised this particular subject and how you revised the same.
Yeah. So basically, I prefer 3 revisions for each and every subject. And for international taxation, particularly, I never had a separate revision. For me, as I said, like preparations also, it was an extended DT revision, it was an extended DT revision. But yes, one thing, the mock test papers, past papers, RTPs, and available on the ICS study material. Those things has to be specific to international taxation. Other than that, more or less of international taxation are covered in DT. So just start with DT, complete DT revision, and then move over to paper 6. Then use the same revising international tax part for both DT as well as international taxation. And I personally prefer 3 revisions because it gives you a lot of clarity. And 3 revisions includes your mock paper solving, past paper solving, etc. So everything has to become included in those 3 revisions.
Great. Chiru has asked one question. For that, I'll reply. Chiru, last session which I had with C. Anand Valera, I'll tell you regarding him, he was not having any work experience of international taxation. Yet he opted for this subject. He cleared in first attempt, and he is currently working in international taxation. I have posted that video on my YouTube channel. You can refer my YouTube channel, or I'll share that with you as well in the group. If you are in my group, I'll share it there as well. So talking about the revision which you told there should be at least 3 revision, not only for this subject. It is applicable for all the subjects. Definitely, one has to weigh each and every subject equally, and then it will be result in gain. Secondly, you told you always combined international taxation revision along with DT. And you also told while doing revision, one should definitely attempt RTPs, MTPs, all the case studies and past papers. So this is something which you have to do in the revision. These RTPs, MTPs, 3 revision, these things are common for each and every subject. It is not specifically for this particular paper.
Each and every subject.
Each and every subject you have to do in such manner.
Yeah.
So next thing.
Yeah, and specifically international taxation, I said because while comparing it with DT, but still you have to refer those things for IT separately, like not just MTPs and RTPs of DT, but also for IT.
Right.
The revision only has to be included, like both can be converged, but not the MTPs and RTPs. So you have to separately refer both the RTPs and MTPs because international taxation is completely different approach. It has case studies and questions are based on those case studies. So unless you refer those RTPs and mock test papers and case studies, you won't get a idea of how the question flows and you should be attempting the answers because it's an open book test. So the idea is completely different for both the papers.
Right. So we talked about the first revision, the revisions which you did earlier. Now coming to the last day before exam. What were your plans for one day revision? Because one has to plan for that day in advance. It is not like on that day we'll see. One has to plan such kind of revision beforehand itself. So how you revised on the last particular day?
Yeah. So last particular day revision were basically more of income tax and section parts rather than the treaties. This is because treaties can be referred while you are in the exam hall, like treaties, model tax convention of UN model and this US model, etc. are available while you are in the exam hall. So you can refer those articles there because you won't be able to memorize those articles and difference between those articles for all the articles. But specifically for sections because they are covered in DT as well. So I preferred covering those sections, I mean the income tax part and the sections part of TTAA and international taxation and transfer pricing, because that helps you preparing for the paper 7 as well. So most of my concentration was towards the income tax part, like the sections part of it. And also I relied more on the summaries and pointers which I made during my revisions and first study, because it helps you to cover the extensive portion in short time. So
Right.
I went through all the summary notes which I had made in my study material itself and concentrated more towards the income tax part and section parts rather than the model tax conventions and the model articles.
Just to add, this is
But yes, the strategy can be different. Like you have to first find out which are your strong areas, your weak areas, and
Right.
concentrate more on the weak areas first, because which will requires repetitive revision so that it is fresh before you go into the example. So first make out which are your weak areas and strong areas, and then it may depend on the person to person.
right, exactly. As he ended, it may depend from person to person. Just my suggestion, whatever he is giving you insights, try to apply these insights on your MTP first. Whether without doing much revision of treaty, will you be able to
Yeah.
solve all the case studies? Try in MTP. One MTP definitely you should do in exam environment. At that time, you need to apply all such revision techniques which you learn from others or you have your own. It's just a suggestion, which it's just something which he has done, which he is providing you the insight. Satya has asked regarding our articleship. Satya, he has already explained
Yeah,
that he has done
yeah.
articleship in international taxation. Just to add on, if someone has missed any part of this particular discussion, I'll be uploading on my YouTube channel. You can go and see there. By today or by tomorrow maximum, it will be uploaded if you have missed. So coming to the summary of last year revision, which Chinmay has told us, he focused more on topics which are covered in DT. He went through the summary of section highlighted which he created earlier. At the time of first revision itself, he has told us you have to create such kind of material which you can refer afterwards, and that definitely helps in last year revision. He also told that what he has done exactly, he has concentrated more on sections rather than treaty models. So this is something which you can get insight, apply it while doing the MTPs, and then you can see whether it works for you or not. Next, now coming to the exam day. Just before exam, a person get 15 minutes of reading time.
Yeah.
How you utilize that 15 minutes?
Yeah. Before this, one point I will like to add towards what Jatin said, that you have to prepare for MTP in an exam environment. That is for international taxation, particularly because this is not like we write. This is an open book exam, which I think most of us have never experienced. So I will also suggest to try that out, like putting 4 hours and having the books besides you and trying to figure out answers. How will you write answer from the open book itself? Something we are used to it, and going straight to the exam hall without having an idea of we may mess up there. So I will add on to what Jatin said, that you should do it and you must do it in fact. Now coming to the last 15 minutes, they are very crucial minutes. Your heartbeats will be high there, and out of those 15 minutes, 5 minutes are gone in filling your answer sheets, because nowadays we have 2 answer sheets. One is for normal answer sheet and one is for your MCQs, and you have to put your roll numbers, etc., exam paper code, etc. there. So it takes away around 5 minutes of yours. 10 minutes are left, and it's difficult. I can say it's impossible to read all 5 case studies in that 10 minutes time and then decide out which 4 you are going to attempt. So I messed up big time in this 10 minutes, but what I realized from this 10 minutes was that you should always the concepts and not the questions. So go through which concepts are asked in the 5 case studies, then assess these concepts towards your strong areas and weak areas. And if you can find out that out of this 5, there is one case study which is having more emphasis you are not comfortable with. I mean, the topics which you either ignored or you are not very well versed with those kind of topics, you are not very clear with them. So use elimination strategy there. Find out which areas your weak points and take that case study. So you are left with 4 which you are going to attempt. That is one. Also, second thing which we can do is MCQ part. 40% are covered by MCQ. Out of the 100 marks, 40 marks are covered by the MCQs, and MCQs are very, one MCQ goes for 2 marks, and if you are able to write correctly, you will pass the paper without even attempting. You can also select your case study based on the MCQs. Like if one of the case studies have certain MCQs, like 3 of the MCQs are such that you have no idea, and it so happens that there are certain questions in international paper which are not covered by the study material. Like we had one question regarding Article 8, and Article 8 of the UN model is not covered by the study material. It is something related to taxation of shipping business. It gives you some computation, but it was not covered in the ICI provided study material, any other study material. But the specific regarding that was asked. So there will be few questions of that sort in MCQs. So find out, if you find certain MCQs wherein you are not comfortable with them, you can eliminate that case study. So I prefer elimination strategy there, because it's not possible for us to go through all the 5 case studies, and if we try reading them, I think we'll be wasting approximately 20-25 minutes and still we'll be confused. So elimination strategy is what I recommend in 10 minutes time, so that you can just assess your concepts against the question marks or the MCQs asked, and then you will be good with the 4 case studies left.
So you have told in that 10 minutes, no one
there's a
can
question regarding how did you tackle MCQs?
that will be covering in the next question, I think so. We'll cover
regarding the MCQ.
Right, exactly. So the summary which you told regarding 15 minutes, you told that it's not actually 15 minutes. You have to fill in paper, various other details. So you only get 10 minutes of reading time, practically. So you suggested the students that don't try to read every case study in detail. What you can do is go through the concept, go through the case study, go through MCQs, what kind of concepts have been asked in that particular case study, and check whether you are having strong grip on that particular concept or not, and use, instead of selection policy, use elimination policy. You need to find out the question, you need to find out the case study that will be eliminating out of the 5 case studies provided. In 10 minutes, this can only be done. And check out the MCQs for checking whether you know these kind of concepts or not. Now, coming to the main question, the last 4 hours, that are the most important, 240 minutes of the paper. So how you attempted exam? Give us certain insights about what manner you were reading the questions, and how you were thinking about the answer key. Why? Because see, in your attempt, the paper was around 20 pages. 40. How many it was? Hello. Chinmay, you have muted yourself. Hello. Chinmay, you have muted yourself. 40 pages it was, Prachi has informed exactly. So I was asking, while taking this exam during the last 4 hours, that is 240 minutes, give us certain insights about what manner you attempted to read those questions, and how were you thinking about the answer? It was 40 pages question paper. So what went through your mind while reading each and every page? You eliminated 1 case study, but there were 4 case studies, and 240 minutes, 4 hours.
Yeah.
What you did?
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, there are few pointers which apply to all exams, not just international taxation. Like first, be calm and composed during the exam hall. Like don't get nervous and too much concerned about the exams. Once you are inside the hall, that's it. Like you cannot change what happened. Your preparations are done. You cannot change anything now. So be confident and just have faith that whatever your studies is there inside your mind, and you'll be able to attempt all your answers properly. So don't be under those nervousness and don't mess up at the last moment. So be calm, composed, confident, have some water, stay chill, and prepare. Divide or distribute of 4 hours or 3 hours, whatever, to the number of questions available. So for in international taxation, we have 4 case studies, 4 hours. You divide 4 hours in 4 case studies, like 1 hour for 1 case study. So time management is of utmost importance for any paper. At times we have cases wherein people say I left 10 marks paper, 20 marks paper, etc. So I suggest avoid doing those things, because those 10, 15 marks, 20 marks make up a lot at the time of your aggregates, not just for clearing that particular paper, but also at coming to the aggregate level, they help a lot. So time management is very important. And apart from that, while doing the case studies, always start with the MCQs first. Now, there was a question which stated, how did you manage the MCQs? So for MCQs, I suggest you don't need to do anything separately. Just be well versed with what you have studied, because MCQs will be asked from the concepts which you have studied while preparing for your theory questions only. There is nothing new in it. So just go through your concepts well, and you will be able to handle your MCQs properly. And just go through the past mock RTPs as already said, and there are certain MCQs which are listed on the ICAI website itself. So just go through those MCQs, and that will help you to prepare for the MCQ part. There is no need for you to specifically do something else for the MCQs. But while answering the questions, I suggest start with MCQs first, because once you're done with your MCQs, you have secured 10 marks out of the 25 marks, and then only 15 marks are left. And just don't rely on the study material for each and every question. Like, there will be certain questions which are quite straightforward. So if the questions are quite straightforward and you know the concepts well, because obviously many of the questions will be on the same concepts which are covered in paper 7 also. So we don't need study material for each and every question. So if there are certain questions which you believe that you know the insights of that question and there's no need for to attempt the refer the study material, then go with your insights and attempt that question straightforwardly. You need not refer each and every question in your study material and then find out the correct answer, because it will take a lot of time. We say 4 hours, but 4 hours are not sufficient for a 40-page question paper. You don't actually get a lot of time to even think about a question. It's like you see the question, you either refer the solution inside your notes, or you make up your solution in your mind and you write it on the paper. That's it. That's the only time it is available for you. So do not wait that, do not go for finding out solution to each and every question. There will be few questions which will be covered from DT portion itself. There will be few MCQs which you are well aware of, like for example, fees or some timelines or certain small calculation like secondary adjustment interest. Those things are well versed. We all are well versed with those things. We don't need study material for that particular thing. So don't cross verify or double check. If you have time at the end after completing every question and you have time for those things, then you can double check your answers. But otherwise, trust your intuitions and attempt those questions which you know on the uprightly, and you need not refer study material for those questions. Apart from that, the questions which you feel that there is a need for you to refer your study material, so go through your summaries first, because many a times questions have the answers in the summaries which we have prepared. If the summaries are sufficient enough, like for example APA, in summaries we can write all the short notes regarding what APA is, what are the rollback provisions, in what cases APAs are available, not available, etc. So if those things are covered in your summaries well, you need not read the whole section again in your study material, because the section can run over for 4-5 pages in your study material and you won't get time in exam hall to read 5 pages. So trust yourself first, trust your summary notes and your highlighters, and still if you don't get the answers, only then go through your study material in deep. So otherwise you need not refer your study material in depth. Just answer your questions based on your knowledge or your summary notes which you have prepared, and have a strict timeline, like 1 hour for one question. If you're not able to complete that question in that particular time frame, leave it. As soon as your 1 hour is completed, you have to start with your second question, else you will end up not attempting a whole case study which is about 25 marks. So I would not suggest you to complete your case studies first and don't think of time. It's better if you have a strict time frame, and if you are not able to complete your case study in that particular time frame, switch and your case study there and switch over to the next case study. If you have time left at the end, then you can refer back to that incomplete answers, or you can just leave it there. And that's it. Like, that's what I prefer. Yeah, I have covered everything, I guess. So that's it. And the most important thing is be calm, be composed, have self-confidence, because until you are confident about yourself, you won't be able to put it on paper and show it to the examiner that you know everything. So don't goof up and don't make too much of cancellations, because cancellations show that you are not confident about your answer. So whatever it is, make up your mind and start writing and make the answer look like you know it. Otherwise, we have people who write answers and make cancellation in each and every sentence, which shows uprightly that you are not very confident about it and you are just trying to make up something. So your presentation skills are also important by attempting your answers. Ensure that your presentation is such that the examiner believes that yes, you know about the concepts and all the important topics like the highlighters are available for the exam, because examiners are not going to check each and every line. They will look for the keywords there. So ensure that you have underlined or you have put emphasis enough on the keywords and the key figures in your present solution, and present it in a way which the examiner feels that you know the concepts well.
So Hemang, I think so that your question is answered. The confidence is definitely required, be it international taxation or any other subject. You should be having confidence in yourself.
Yeah, any exam, whether it be CA or any other exam, whatever you do in life. So self-confidence is the basic thing.
Exactly. It's not only in exams, in life as well. You should have self-confidence. That is the utmost thing required. Prachi, you have asked whether if a person is not having strong text base, not having practical experience is one thing. Other thing, if you are not having even interest, then definitely this is not your subject. But if you are having interest in this particular field, even though you are not having articleship experience, you can still make it out. You can here to see Anand Valera. I'll share the URL for sure today. I forgot to share in the group. I uploaded it few days back, but I forgot to share in the group. I'll share in the group today itself. So not having articleship experience is one thing, but you should be having interest in this particular field. So regarding last 240 minutes, what Chinmay told, he said take one question at a time, give enough time to MCQs because they help you in scoring 10 marks out of 25 marks. So those are important. Give proper time. It should not be like, okay, these are MCQs, I'll select anyone. You give proper time, think properly, and accordingly select the answer. Then next thing which he pointed out, the insight which he gave was follow strict timeline. There are 4 hours, there are 4 case studies which you have to do. Allocate 1 hour to each case study. Just one thing I'll mention. If you are, this is just suggestion which he gave, after 1 hour just stop that case study, feel 2 MTPs. At that time you will feel how you are able to do. There can be certain cases that one particular case study took 1 hour 10 minutes, other case study took 50 minutes. So that was just a suggestion. You have to decide upon yourself, but definitely there should be strict time restrictions. And just one more thing to add, you should apply time restriction in such manner that you get certain time to go through your answer sheet once again at the end. Next thing which he pointed out, just as the paper was of 40 pages, don't just flip papers and go through each and everything. Just trust upon yourself, trust your concepts, and also don't refer to your notes in certain cases. If you are confident enough, give your answer, take each question at one time. So this is all from my side. Any further question which anyone wants to ask? Shraddha has asked what all should we accept from future meetings. You mean the series which I am conducting? So I'll update that in the group. What's next to come? I'm having certain more plans to ask certain other persons who have cleared recently to give their views. So I'll be updating all such things in the group. Any further question anyone is having?
Yeah. Now, few pointers from my side, Jatin.
Yes.
Regarding the strong text-based question which was asked by Prachi.
Right.
So in this regard, I will say just one thing, like international taxation requires you to understand basics of tax, because it's not a paper wherein you try to remember sections. You need to understand sections. If you try remembering the sections and concepts, then I think international taxation, you will go haywire. So we need to link many things here, and for that we need a certain interest in the subject itself. If you don't have interest in that particular subject, then I think you won't be able to cope up with the vastness of the subject which we have in international taxation particularly, because there are many concepts which are interlinked, which has certain logics, and if you have interest for taxation particularly, then only you'll be able to understand the logics well. Otherwise it will be just bouncers for you, and you will find it difficult time to remember those things, because at times we need to understand certain things to remember them. So for that thing, text based in experience may not be required, but yes, interest in that particular subject is of utmost important. And one thing also, like flipping pages, which I said during the exam time, there are certain topics which are not covered in the study material itself. they are from somewhere out. Like for example which I mentioned regarding Article 8, which was asked in our attempt in November 2019. It is not there in the study material. If you go to the whole UN text models or the OECD text models, it is not available in any of the text models in our institute study material. So at times it so happens that available, like 15 CACB is also not covered in our study material, but there can be MCQs on 15 CACBs and certain points. So if we put too much time in finding solutions to each and every question, we will end up not finding the solution and also wasting our time.
Right.
So it's
Hello.
study answers, and if
you are not audible. Hello.
then it's fine. You can ignore.
Chinmay, we are not able to hear you properly. Hello. Hello, Chinmay. Hello. Any further question anyone is having? Chinmay, you can try switching off your video once, because I think so there is certain network error. So you can try switching off your video and then see if it is proper. We can might be able to hear you then. So how to plan further or suggestion regarding postponement of exam for 4 months, as up to date the subjects are prepared. Satya, regarding this, I'd like to answer. See, you are saying that you are on right track for this 29th July attempt, but now since exams have postponed for 4 months, so what to do now? So regarding this, just revise your plans. You need to you are getting good time. Right, it appears to be so, Chinmay. I was answering Satya was asked ki exam has now postponed for 4 months. You need to revise your plans. See, plans are something which should be there, but if situation changes, if something happens, you should be able to revise those plans. Revise your plans. Try to do more practical solutions. Try to do more questions by hand. Try to do more exam situation like MTPs. When it comes to international taxation, try to do even more case studies in a proper exam kind of format, keeping all your books together. Try to do in such manner. Chinmay has mentioned that he was just trying to convey that don't try to find out all the answers to every question in the book. You must be knowing the concept, rely upon yourself, and then you can definitely go ahead. And now then going to the next question which Prachi has asked, that means it's not a subject that is impossible to crack. Definitely it's not something that is impossible. Nothing is impossible. If you break down the word impossible, everyone says I am possible. It is. So nothing is impossible in the world. Just take this thing, and fairly good interest in the subject can take you ahead. Definitely, if you are having interest in this particular field and you want to make career in this field, this subject is something that you should opt for. And now talking about myself, I cleared in November 2015. At that time, there was no such option available to me. I started working in this particular field, and I wanted to increase my knowledge. So I did diploma from Indian International Taxation from ICAI. That is one thing which I did afterwards. You will be getting such kind of opportunity beforehand itself, and question base of this is good enough, so that the your particular future prospective employer will be able to see that you are having interest in this field. And definitely if someone is into this particular field during articleship and not opting for this particular exam, questions will be raised if afterwards you want to continue in this field. Stay flexible. Yeah, right, exactly. Stay flexible with your plans. Plans when made should be very much you should be like this key, you'll follow these plans. But if something happens, because everything is not in your hand, so you have to revise your plans sometime, and you should be ready for that. Now just you have to revise your plans, and now what you have to do, you have to include more questions to be solved by yourself. I appears is there any other question left? Regarding planning, I have made certain videos on my YouTube channel as well. How I was used to do. That also I've uploaded on YouTube. Complete planning video is yet to be prepared by me, but to certain extent, daily targets, monthly targets, all such things I've explained on my YouTube channel. I've also explained how you can utilize the power generated from tension. You should have tension, some kind of tension in your mind, which will help you to be more effective, more efficient, and to achieve your goals. Sure, Prachi, I'll look forward for that. In that kind of webinar, I'll try to bring in more and more persons. I'll do that definitely. So it appears that's it for today. Thank you very much. And if anyone has missed any part, they can definitely go through on YouTube channel. It must be uploaded by tomorrow, probably. Thank you. That's it for today. And thank you, Chinmay, for giving your time for explaining CA students this much well, that how you prepared in your first reading in your last 1.5 days, and how you utilized the 15 minutes and 4 hours. That was very important for each and every CA student to know such things, because I believe, it's my personal belief, and it's something that everyone should believe, that planning is something which is most important. It is something that you are investing.
Helpful for them, whatever exactly. I share.
Right. Chinmay, your voice is not coming. A concise webinar with good clarity regarding preparation strategy for the subject. Sure. Any other suggestion you want, you can give it to me directly on WhatsApp. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chinmay, once again. I'll close the session now.